Yo, what is going on, you sleepy seismitoads? Gonna be playing some games with Tangrowth today. This list is actually one that made day 2 at the regionals in Germany not too long ago. I never gave it a shot. I actually really didn't know it existed and was that different from what I had personally been messing around with until recently. But yeah, it is quite a bit different than the build that I had been playing around with. I don't play these Mimikyus. I don't play counter game. So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. I kind of want to give that a try because I've been a big fan of Tangrowth for a while. I really love and enjoy playing the deck. I have a lot of fun with the deck. So I was like, oh, there's a different way to play the deck. Let's go ahead and play around with it. So yeah, those are the big differences in this build. Buzzwole is also something I hadn't been playing recently, but I'm going to go ahead and try out his list, see how it goes, see how much value we can get out of these copycat Mimikyus. And I think that's all I gotta say on the list. Before we get into some games, I will say that I do stream live on twitch.tv every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, usually ending at 5 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to go check that out, twitch.tv/AzulGG, link in the description below. Let's try out this Tangrowth list. Alright, going first against some Pidgeyblounds here. I think it's Pidgeyblounds anyways. Our start, Cynthia out of a dead hand, but then our follow-up is no good. Alright, we're hoping our opponent does not donk us with Blazer here, because they definitely could. Yeah, so we've had a really slow start. We got no basic Pokemon, 0 basic Pokemon out. There's a Welder to their active though, so that's not a great start for our opponent either. So I guess we're both just having lackluster starts here. Alright, I'll take it. Our Mimikyus aren't going to do a whole ton in this matchup, I don't think. I can't come up with a way we'd ever be able to utilize our Mimikyus. We could copycat the Victini, I guess, and if we had 5 energy in the discard pile. Okay, so we could copycat Victini. That's something we could do in this matchup. Otherwise, we're just going to be using Tangrowths to knock out Blacephalons for the most part. But we could copycat Victini. That's something we could do for sure, actually. There we go. Pass back to us. Not a great start from our opponent either, like I said. Gonna go ahead and bench the other Jirachi and then play a Cynthia. Look for some basic Pokemon finally. Well, we found a Tangela. Let's go ahead and Stellar Wish. Alright, Netball is also pretty good. And then I'm gonna retreat. We're gonna Stellar Wish after I use the Netball. Looking just for basics here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a Tangela. 2 grass energy prized. Alright, that's fine. Stellar Wish again. Alright, another Netball. Can definitely utilize that. Gonna go ahead and communication away the Tangela, get it back. I guess the Tangela, right? Yeah, because I can get him back with the Netball. Gonna get an Absol because we need those. Get the Absol in play. Netball back for the Tangela. Get the Tangela. Tangrowth to evolve into it on the next turn. And we're in okay shape now. We're in okay shape. We're a little bit slow, but our opponent also had a pretty slow start. They used the Welder on something that they didn't attack with, which is a big deal in this matchup. This matchup basically revolves around us kind of running our opponents out of Welders, because they only have the 4 Welder. Once they run out of Welders, they can't create another attacker, which means they run out of attackers, and we kind of just win the game. Or that's the plan anyways, and that's what we're going to go for. That's 1 Welder down, 3 more to go. There's a Stellar Wish for an Ultra Space. That's going to get them some stuff. I don't think we have anything to Ultra... Yeah, we don't play any Ultra Beasts. I was like, do we play any Ultra Beasts? No. Yeah, no Ultra Beasts in our deck. That's fine. We don't need them. Yeah, there's the first Blacephalon. We'll see. Do they get themselves an Elm or a Welder? It is a Welder, but they're gonna have a hard time moving their Jirachi out of the active. Actually, they probably just won't be able to attack this turn still. Even with the Escape Board, probably not going to be able to move their Jirachi because we do have the Absol in play on our side of the field. They did get their second Welder. There it is. They're actually going to the Jirachi. They're going to go for the Blazer knockout here, it looks like. Hard retreat Jirachi, attach, and Blazer. So they're being super aggressive here. Maybe they have that many fire energy prized. They're like, whoa, I have 5 fire energy prized. That's pretty good odds on Blazer. Let's see if they hit it. Nope, that is a Great Catcher. So only 20 damage to our Jirachi. Alright, there's another Tangela. That's pretty good. Tangrowth. I am going to Stellar Wish first. Get this guy. Get ourselves a Grass Energy. Attach to the Tangrowth. Then we will switch into our other Jirachi. And then play Lillie. Draw some cards. So yeah, like I said, the Mimikyu's not going to be super effective in this matchup. From what I can tell, I guess they could be a little bit better than I think. Stellar Wish again. We're looking for a communication. Nope, we'll take the Rosa though. So we're only hitting for not enough for a knockout. So I don't really want to attack with a Tangrowth if it's not taking a one-shot. Oh, I do have an Ultra Beast. Well, we'll go ahead and take him out of the deck now. I guess I didn't want to take him out of the deck before the Lillie. I don't want to bench him yet. I think we retreat to Jirachi and pass. I definitely want to keep the Jirachi with the Escape Board alive. So we do have a switch. So we can just move the Jirachi out of the active if we have to next turn. Our opponent, once again, they use 2 welders, and that's kind of like the main thing we're trying to get through is our opponent's welders as compared to other stuff. So if they're just using their welders like that, that's also just, that's fine. It's basically like we're taking knockouts even though we're not, is when our opponent is using their welders like they are. We're basically taking knockouts even though we're actually not taking knockouts, if that makes sense. There's a Fire Crystal. We'll see if a third welder gets involved here from our opponent, or if they're just going to go for the Blazer again. Nope, there's the third welder. So they might play a Pal Pad. That might be one reason they're being so aggressive with their welders. The welder to Jirachi was definitely a little bit iffy in my opinion. I don't think I would have made that play personally, but maybe you do kind of have to make that play in this situation, in this matchup. There we go. There's the Circus for 1. All right, we're going to finally be able to take a knockout here. We get Rosa, we can get an Absol. We'll be good to go from there. There's another Tangrowth. Going to go ahead and Stellar Wish first. There's a Shrine to replace the Ultra Space if I want. I'm going to play the Rosa first. Grab myself an Absol and Grass Energy. I could get a I could set up the Fairy Mimikyu while I can. Well, we actually don't have another Grass Energy. I'm just gonna get the Grass Energy here, and we could just get another Rosa for the following turn. Nah, let's get, yeah, actually let's get another Rosa for the following turn. That sounds fine to me. All right. Attach. I'll bench, retreat, and knock out with Tangrowth with the Grass Knot. We do need the 2 Absol to get up to that 130 damage on the plus F1. They only have 2 retreat costs, so get there, knock that guy out. Finally, getting our first knockouts here. What can be hard for us to knock out and what can allow our opponent to buy time is actually putting Pidgey into their active, Pidgeotto, because it only has 1 retreat cost. And it's on evolution Pokemon, so Absol does not increase its retreat cost by 1 per Absol. So they could just like send up Pidgeotos at some point and just kind of stall for a while. Definitely wouldn't be a ridiculous plan from our opponent. We'll see if they have access to their 4. Oh, I just want to put in the Shrine over the Ultra Space. That's a mistake. Definitely should have put in Shrine over Ultra Space. I have 1 Ultra Beast that I can constantly get back out of my deck, but it's definitely not worth leaving Ultra Space in play for my opponent. So definitely a mistake on my part not putting the Shrine in play there. Oops, my bad. All right, we'll see what they got here. Do they have the 4th welder? Are they just going to go with a Blazer? They need to set up something else as a response if they are just going to go with the Blazer, though. I need something. The other phone, they'll need something for sure. That's for sure. Yep, there's the concession from my opponent. Not too surprised. They were a little bit too deep in the hole in that one. I do find this matchup to definitely be favored for the Tangrowth overall. And yeah, down 3 welders. If they don't have a welder that turn, even if they do have a welder that turn, they run out of welders on the next turn, and then what do you even do as Blissephalon at that point? You can get a attack with Victini in 2 turns, but you're so far behind at that point. I mean, we had a slow start, but our opponent also had a slow start, and it cost them a bunch of welders to even get set up, and then at that point it was too much, and a dub with the Tangrowth in the first game here. Against Guardian, this one, usually a pretty decent matchup. Fortunately, we open the Mimikyu and a pretty dead hand, but Guardian's a little bit slow. They can't do anything on turn 2 unless they play a Mina, so we're going to be filching here early on and hoping for the best. Here's the filch. Here we go. Not even going to bench this other Mimikyu because we don't want it in play. Yeah, so there's no point in really benching it down, so I'm not going to do it. No need to. We're not going to get knocked out next turn unless our opponent does have a Mina in their build. They didn't use greens turn 1 to get Mina, though, so I'm not going to play around Mina. Probably doesn't exist in their deck. Not going to play around it. I just hope they don't have it. Yep, there's the Fairy Song. All right, we're going to be able to get 2 Tanglas down on our next turn. This matchup is pretty good usually. We do need to get a Jirachi out to be able to deal with the Magical Miracle that's on its way. But once we get that going, we'll be just fine. Going to get another Tangela. I might bench this guy now because I do want to play around kind of not being able to hit very hard at all. Nah, we're just going to go with the Filch once again. Maybe our opponent doesn't even have a way to actually attack next turn. Then we get another turn to work with. We've drawn so many cards, and we've seen so few supporters or Jirachis. This is very unfortunate. Nope, there's a switch. They probably haven't attached for turn, and we are almost definitely going to get knocked out here. Our Mimikyu is. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe we get lucky, but I'm not feeling it this game for sure. There's the attach. There's the storm. All right, goodbye Mimikyu. We'll see what they do with their energy. Bringing it all to the active. I could just go with the Tangle Drag for the turn, but I could also punch this. And that leaves my opponent in an awkward situation where they all of a sudden can't use the GX attack in fear of getting knocked out. We'll see what our top deck is. It is an Absol. Can attach. We can put Shrine in play. We could Tangle Drag. Then we risk them just having another switch. I could just hit them and then hope that that does enough. And then we get another one. If we draw really well, if we draw really well, we could go with the Tangle Drag. Well, we could go with the Great Catcher at this point now. Great Catcher with a Faba in the Mimikyu. Bring up another Guardian. Try and trap it in the active. Or we could just Grass Knot the active and then be like, all right, we might draw really well off the... we know they have an energy in hand because they did GX attack. If they just have a switch, we just get punished for Tangle Dragging. Yeah, we'll just bench the Mimikyu. And then I almost clicked pass. And then I am going to Grass Knot. Hit him for 100. 110 with the Shrine. If we get a Tangrowth and 2 Absol, we will fully punish our opponent going for the GX attack here. But we're going to need a lot. There's the Green's Exploration. Yeah, so it was never going to end well for us if we did go Tangle Drag or Great Catcher up one of the Guardians off the bench. The Greens would have always been able to punish us there. This is definitely the better route, I guess you could call it. I mean, it's still not a great route because we're still dead drawing. Despite the 2 Filches almost saving us, or I was hoping that Filching twice would be enough to save us. Apparently not. Filching twice is not enough. Drawing 4 extra cards is not enough to get you out of a dead draw sometimes, I guess. Yep, there's that second Energy Spinner. Gonna attach to the active. They're gonna GX attack us. I assume double mixed herbs. Oh no. Our opponent's playing a heavy healing build of the Guardian here. There's the Magical Miracle. They didn't replace the Stadium, which is nice. We'll keep ticking up with the Shrine damage, but we are at a 0-card hand. I'm gonna send up the Mimikyu here as fodder. Let him go down. Don't really care about him. There's a top deck Escape Board. Pass to our opponent. Let's see if we can get something on this next top deck. Let's see, what can they even do? Yeah, they're just gonna knock out our active. I mean, if they have custom catchers, it's gonna dig us into that much deeper of a hole. They also play custom catchers. Maybe they play all of the play 2 of cards. There was a power plant and a greens. All right, finally gonna get rid of our Shrine. Another greens for the following turn. Then they'll probably just Kaleidostorm, knock out our active, maybe get an energy attachment for a turn. Not too much else for them to actually do on this turn. That's for sure. They don't have a whole ton more to do. Yeah, there's the knockout of my Mimikyu. Goodbye, Mimikyu. And yeah, we are in, once again, a very unfortunate spot. They're going to move the energy around to the back. Don't want to leave it all in the active. I mean, I can't even knock out the active anyways. I don't think so. Even if I had 4 Absol, it would be 6. Actually, 180, 190. No, I couldn't quite get there. All right, going to send up the Absol. We do have the Escape Board to work with. Are we going to see a top deck? It is a communication, but we can't utilize the communication because we don't have a Pokemon to communication away. I could Tangle Drag up this one, but we know they have a greens in their hand, which means they could just get a switch or a tag switch. So we're just going to go ahead and pass to our opponent, let our Absol get knocked out, and this one is pretty much over. Unfortunately, slow start. The double Filch wasn't enough, and I think we're going to take an L here. The Filches were helping out. There is custom catchers as well. Okay, playing all the play 2 of cards is our opponent, and that's going to do it for this one. There's no way we're making a comeback on this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit that concede button. Hopefully we can end up with a dub in the next, and don't have to filch so much. Alright, we are going first in this one. We are up against a type null. Oh no. That could be really bad for us, because our opponent could be playing, what's his name? The Silvally that reduces all of their retreat cost by a lot. I forget what it's called. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Shrine into play. I'm going to go ahead and Lillie for 7. Get as much draw off as possible. Let's go ahead and... excuse me. So he's got 1 retreat cost. We can make it 2. We can make it 3 with another one. I'm gonna start with Stellar Wish here. See what we get. Okay, Escape Board is very nice. Not gonna quite go to the other Jirachi yet. I think I'm just gonna attach a Grass to the Tangela, and then pass to our opponent. We definitely probably want to leave room for... Oh, I should have put the Escape Board on the active, actually. I should have at least put the Escape Board on the active and got him ready to move. Should have got this Jirachi ready to move. He's going to need to move. There's an attach active and a Cynthia. Okay, yeah. If they do play the Gyro unit Silvally that reduces all their basic Pokemon's retreat cost to 0, we're definitely going to be in trouble. That's definitely going to be something that's going to be hard for us to do. They are playing the Pipstoise. Pipstoise, probably Silvally Quag deck. I wouldn't imagine it would be anything else besides that. We'll see though. Stellar Wish again. Get another communication. I'm kind of fine to hold this hand and just use the Rosa eventually. Calm away this guy. Get ourselves an Absol. We got a lot of options in this hand, so I'm kind of fine to just hold on to the hand. See where it goes down the line. Retreat and hit them with the Grass Knot. Just for a knockout. 100 damage with 2 Absols. We don't have a lot else set up, but we're in an okay spot as long as they don't get out both Silvallies next turn. And if they do, we're gonna have to come up with a way to knock out the other Silvally, the one that does which is gonna be a smash kick from our opponent. So our opponent having a super slow start here. We're just gonna Grass Knot again. I got pretty much everything I'd want in my hand. We got communication, a netball, we got the Rosa, which gives us everything. So if our opponent is just going Cynthia and then smash kick, we're just gonna knock these type nulls out and I guess take the game. Is it gonna be another smash kick from our opponent? Nope. Alright, top deck Cynthia for our opponent. They're still in it, just barely. Let's see what else they have here. There is a Wooper, so it is the Nagquag Pipstoise, but it is gonna be another smash kick from our opponent. So still not a great go of it from our opponent. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a Grass here. Check for the Psychic. It is there. I might go ahead and actually put the Fairy here because I doubt I'm gonna be able to copycat twice because I'm not gonna get access to the counter game because of how far ahead I'll be. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Fairy here and just be like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to use the Fairy Mimikyu anymore because to set up this guy with 2 energy to use Copycat and set up the other one with 2 energy to use Copycat is going to be a ridiculous amount of energy that I'm just not going to have time to put into play anyways. So I'm just going to go ahead and predict that I won't be able to pull that off. We'll have this guy set up for Copycat, be able to use his Copycat. Not going to be able to use the Fairy Mimikyu's Copycat, but that's just fine. There we go. There's a Oaks from our opponent. It looks like they're probably going to have to give up the Wooper though, unless they retreat it into the Marshadow. But they're going to have to give up something then, for sure. Attached to the type null. Yep, Wooper is going down. There's a Psychic Energy. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that and play then. That's a pretty good top deck. Grass Knot, knock out the Wooper. Get ourselves another prize card. We are only 2 prize cards away. It can still get a little bit weird though because of our opponents. If they do play the Silvally that reduces all of their basic Pokemon's retreat cost to 0. There's another Oaks setup though, so I don't think that's quite what they have going on here as they only grab the Ditto. They are in a terrible spot. All right, pass back again. We will Grass Knot again. They played a decent amount of supporters. They played 4 supporters, 2 Oaks, 2 Cynthia, but have found still nothing with the rest of their cards to work with and are still in a terrible spot. Here comes the type null. Set up to do the quick blow. That's not going to be enough to win our opponent the game. Okay, here's Tag Call. They can get themselves a red and blue. There's the red and blue. Red and blue away 2 cards. Evolve the type null until Silvally. Okay, so they're not quite out of it yet, I guess. They're still in it. Still can potentially win this one. There's a lot of work to be made up for. They are behind by a they're very far behind. There's the red and blue. They can make this, like I said, make this type null into a Silvally finally. It's finally happening. There it is. They do have the disc reload now to draw some cards. Also going to get 2 water energy out of the deck. Going to bench the Lopunny, actually. Ooh, attach to him as well. All right, all right. Disc reload for 5. Yeah, so the, what's it called? It's not as scary when they're active is an evolution Pokemon. The other Silvally is not as scary when they're active is an evolution because it only affects the basic Pokemon. The other Silvally's Gyro unit ability only affects basic Pokemon. It takes the retreat cost, it makes it 0 on basic Pokemon. Retreating to the low puff. I don't know how I feel about that. Here's the washout. Unless they have the other Silvally in hand, which they might. They might have access to the other Silvally on that Ditto. I don't think they evolved it this turn. No, they didn't. Or benched it this turn. They used Oaks last turn for the Ditto. Otherwise, they can only punch us for 60, which doesn't seem very good to me, and we can punch them back for 100. Seems like a pretty good trade-off. Seems like a pretty good trade-off in my opinion. Yep. And the Shrine damage ticks up. We're gonna draw and just go ahead and hit for 100. Just keep building on our hand, I guess. I don't have anything else. There's no reason for me to get rid of this hand. We're just gonna sit with this hand for the rest of the game, I think. Do they have anything else? They need quite a bit. All right, Mallow and Lana. That'll do some work here. Heal up the low punny. They'll be able to draw some more cards with the disc reload. We'll see what they're going to send up here. Going back into the Silvally, so I don't know if they plan to attack with Silvally or not. I guess maybe. Disc reload for 3. They can attack with Silvally. We do get to hit him for 70 at the very least. There is the Chaotic Swell. Not going to be able to put a Shrine in play on our next turn. That's fine. I'm not too worried about getting Shrine into play. Yeah, they're going to move to enter. Yeah, I guess they're just going to hit with Silvally. With the Brave Buddies attack. And we're going to be able to copycat Brave Buddies. We'll hit them back for 120 with the copycat. Go ahead and send up Jirachi here. Gonna go ahead and play a Rosa. Get ourselves this guy. Probably a netball. And Shrine's gonna be useless. Oh, we could just get a basic energy. Sure, I mean the netball doesn't really make any sense to grab that. I don't even know what else I'd want at this point. It's so hard to come. It's whenever you're so far ahead, it's always hard to come up with stuff that you'd actually even want. We could get Shrine back into play by using Resetting Hole plus Shrine, and then I could calm away this Buzzmosa to get the baby dude. That sounds fine. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Go with the Stellar Wish. Grab ourselves the Reset Stamp. Just gonna keep building on this hand. I don't see a reason not to. Calm away the Buzzmosa. Get a small grass dude. Gonna go ahead and throw a energy on him. There we go. Oh, I didn't bump the stadium. Oh my gosh. Well, that was my whole plan, and now it's ruined because I didn't do it. I was like instinctively put the dude on the bench. We already have a Great Catcher in hand, so I'm gonna grab the Switch. And then switch to this guy. We'll do it next turn. We'll do it next turn. Well, we'll have to do it next turn because we can't do it this turn anymore because I messed it up. I went ahead and I benched the Tangela before putting down the Marshadow and messed the whole thing up. All right, here we go. Tangela on the bench. Got the Mimikyu. Used the Copycat. We got a Great Catcher for next turn, so we could just bring this guy into the active and knock him out with the Tangrowth. So our opponent has to heal this guy, or they do lose the game. I've been talking about the other Silvally that exists in the deck, but if they don't get that out, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter even if they get that out because this guy's an evolution, not a basic, so he'll keep his retreat cost at 2. There's another Oaks setup from our opponent. This is their third Oaks setup. Gonna grab nothing this time. There's a Keldeo to work with, but I don't think that's gonna do a whole ton for them. Disc reload for 1, so it'd have to be an insane disc reload for 1. Oh, there's a communication. I don't know if that gets it to there for them. They can. Okay, so this can get them the other Silvally, but that does not. There he is with the gyro unit. That doesn't heal this Silvally. So I think we have this one pretty much locked up. Yeah, this Silvally does not get. Oh, this Silvally does not get healed by having this Silvally in play. So unless they have a Mallow and Lana and played Surge, which they didn't. It's going to be a L here for our opponent, I think. There's the switch. They can put us to sleep with their GX attack, I guess, if they really want to. That is one thing they could do. It is going to be the pass. So that is going to be a win for us with the Great Catcher. I don't even know what to get rid of here. Let's get rid of these. Bring up the Silvally. I'm going to switch into the Tangrowth. We're going to go ahead, hit him for 70, and clean this one up with the Grass Knot. So we weren't able to utilize either of the Mimikyus a whole ton. We used Filch a little bit. We did use Copycat in this one. But they're mainly in there, I feel like, for the Mewtwo matchup, and then the ADP matchup is where they get their most value. We didn't hit either of those matchups. It's hard to hit any matchup you want to on the PTGO ladder. We did Filch a little bit. We did Copycat once, so we got that out of them. That's going to do it for this video on the Tangrowth. I do, like I said, I love the deck. I love playing Tangrowth. It's a super fun deck to play around with. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give the video a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you feel about Tangrowth? Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.